Hello, hello. Yo, I'm replying to a tweet first, to this tweet. Not gonna be here for long today. I will visit a friend in like 10 minutes, but wanted to at least say hi. Forgot yesterday, could have said so then. Okay, yeah, no problem. Today I don't have many ideas also. I was still, like, most of my tabs are still about the forest. Well, this was to make the thumbnail. But yeah, most of the tabs I have open are still about these forest machines. I'm still looking at stuff related about it somehow. I don't know. But yeah, I will send this tweet and then at least get a couple of thoughts out about that. Today is Wednesday, right? Yes, Valentine's Day. Sad day today. Although hard to do though. Yeah. So yeah, basically I'm not sure if I want to review what I did yesterday. I will. Fuck it. Played PUBG. Oh yeah, I watched a lot of videos about war, about a guy in war. Yeah, I also visit a friend for a short while. I forgot it was Valentine's Day until you mentioned it. Yeah, I've been seeing it on Twitter and all of this stuff. I don't care a lot, but 24 hours. Oh yeah, I was reading a thread about. I read some stuff yesterday. I read interesting stuff. I read some stuff about a guy who's traveling around Europe and writing posts about it, and he writes kind of dating related things, right? So for example, where he like how the girls in each country they are, and like what hookups and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't know if I find it interesting to read, right? I like because he posts about food and about women, right? So it's interesting in a sense. And I don't find that aspect aspirational, but I find it interesting to read. And I do find the traveling around aspect. I do find that part interesting, and I would like to do it. So yeah, I like to hear what those kind of people say. And I was pretty entertained reading that. I'm sure like some of those must be a lot of this. And then yeah, here I was reading a lot about forest engineering and about different forest engineering brands. Some about Twitter. This is the thread about that. I watched a couple of videos about cars. Then yeah, these videos about war. This is a guy who is like a civilian now, but fought, like has been constantly fighting in wars, right? In the Ukraine war, for example, and in Syrian wars, he's some kind of military guy from the US who goes there, I don't know, to train like people and all that shit. So he was born in Ukraine and all that kind of thing. And he makes videos about it, and it was interesting. And yeah, for example, this video that's called "Why I'm Scared to Go Back to Ukraine." I'm not sure if you can see it. That video is about allergies. He's like allergic to a lot of stuff or something, and apparently in Ukraine, like there are a lot of fields that don't get properly cut and all that thing because of the war, right? So he gets like a lot of allergy, right? So it's annoying to be there and to have the flu and a lot of allergic reactions and to have to take steroids and to be there trying to help, and obviously, but then having to spend a lot of time in the hospital and in those kind of places. It was an interesting video, right? Something I didn't even think that could be a thing, and it turned like then I watch a video like that and it's like, oh, interesting. Lol, okay, yeah, not what I expected. Yeah, exactly. It was pretty interesting, right? And this, for example, this video called "Have I Killed Anybody?" It was a pretty emotional one, and it's like that basically the intro is something like, this question is a difficult question for people, blah blah blah. I have not, but, and he starts talking about the people that have died beside him, right? So like his fellow troopers or whatever, right? In several of different these kind of wars, he talks about those people, and it was interesting, right? Like an interesting twist. He like baits you in talking about this kind of "have I killed anybody" question, and then he says no because he hasn't directly confirmed kills or whatever, right? But he has had people die by his side, and he kind of talks about the blame that you feel when, like a brother in arms. He says brother in arms, and it was I don't know. When I saw it on the comments, I was like, I now understand what the word brother in arms means, right? He talks about it in that way, right? He talks about some people who have died by his side who he didn't consider a friend, right? Because they didn't know each other for very long and all of this. But he considered him a brother in arms, right? So it was interesting, right? It was an interesting concept. I don't think I ever understood that phrase. I know the phrase because of video games. Can you link it? Yeah. Oh, I didn't watch this video still. I just remembered. We're all gonna make it. This video. This is some Twitter video. And yeah, I've been watching a lot of these kind of videos. It's interesting too. This video was interesting. The little bit history of mail. I found this on Twitter, and it was by a girl called Taylor McDaniels, and I thought it was interesting, right? It was a video talking about the story of mail.
Verbally or in some form of writing. If distant communication was required, then mail had to be manually carried out or sent by a messenger. Mail allowed people to be interconnected, to share new ideas, philosophies, and concepts that enabled our society to grow, as evidenced by the maturation of our current global society. Over time, with increasing complexity, mail evolved, expanded, and adapted to allow us to now communicate instantaneously with those around the world.
This intro about the story of mail, and now
13.8 billion years ago, time began with the Big Bang, where all matter and energy in the universe was created. Immediately after, the four major forces of the universe were created, which is very important to understand the.
Okay, thanks. Well, I don't want to be late, so I'll sadly have to leave you already. Okay, have fun. I don't know. I found this video funny, right? I found it on Twitter he tweeted it, Visa. And she starts talking about the story of mail, and then boom, the Big Bang. 18.4 billion years ago, the four fundamental forces of the universe, and then she talks about the universe, about how the Earth worked, all of this in this little bit history of mail video. It was funny.
Hi guys! As you can see, we are back in Costa Rica. We live in this beautiful house just above the airfield where we fly with our gyroplanes. Actually, you do see the hangar down there. That's where
Okay, so now about the topic of the video. Instant messaging, thoughts on private messaging or whatever. Yeah, so today basically I have DMs to answer, basically, right? That's what I was thinking about, right? What was I thinking today in my work, for example? On the DMs, I have to answer. I have the LinkedIn DM to the forest guy, well, to the tree harvester guy. Which I already did. So let's do that. Then to the car filmmaker on IG. Then Twitter DM with a mutual. And I don't know, I wanted to think a little bit out loud about this private messaging endeavor or things like this, right? Of just talking to people online, kind of, right? And yeah, I was thinking, for example, why haven't I replied to the car filmmaker yet when I saw the message yesterday, right? And it was like, because he said, right, I asked a question that was pretty open-ended, right? And the answer I got back was pretty short. So I don't know. And it's also Instagram DMs. So, yeah. I don't know. Context about the LinkedIn answer. Why did I reply to this? Because I asked a question. I asked something like, "Hey, can you help me?" He said something like pretty eagerly, "Yeah, sure, I can help." Blah blah blah. Right? And then I was like, boom! I made a Google Doc and sent it his way. Right? I'm not sure if that's what expected or not, if that's good or bad, but it's what I did. Right? And it felt right in a sense, right? Because he was eager. Like he had that kind of eagerness tone on his message. I was like, huh. Then I want to know more about like how the intersection happened, right? How the intersection between motorsports etc. happened. Between motors and film making happened. That's what I want to know, right? Oh yeah, and because I was thinking of this private messages thing, right? I don't know. I feel like I am. This is something I've noticed about myself, right? And it's kind of that I am happier, right? I guess happier, etc. When I feel kind of socially, right? When I ask questions to people, and I feel like my questions I don't know. Like, I don't even think that my questions are particularly good or anything like this, right? But hello. Yeah, I don't feel like my questions are particularly good or anything like this. But for some reason, let me monitor my audio to see what's going on. Okay. Hello. Yeah. I'm not sure. Okay, so fuck it. Let's do this. Propiedades. No. Propiedades de audio avanzadas. Monitorización activada. Hola. Probando. I want to know what is going on. Quiero saber cómo va. So, quiero saber cómo va la cosa esta y quiero saber cómo va. Se oye muy bajo, ¿no? No sé. Igual si me subo así. Igual si me subo el volumen, vale. Pero tengo que subirlo muchísimo para que se me oiga. O sea que me oye así de bajo siempre. Bueno. Hello, by the way. I am testing my audio right now. I'm going to deactivate the monitoring. So yeah, I am now back to whatever. And yeah, I don't know. I picked up my microphone in my hand because I wanted kind of more freedom and I wanted to feel more free sitting here, for example, sitting in my chair and kind of leaning back. I wanted to feel freer. If you manifest in chat, if you manifest yourself in chat, I will be able to answer. But yeah, basically what I was talking about was, as the title says, thoughts on private messaging, right? Because that's what I was thinking today while walking, right? I had a private message that I hadn't replied yet. And I took my morning walk thinking of what would I reply to this person, right? And this was my thoughts during my walk. And yeah, I already replied to this person, right? Then I was thinking, I have more people that I have yet to reply to. These two people that are here, right? I have a Twitter DM that I have yet to answer, and a current filmmaker on IG that I DM'd, but that he replied shortly but didn't answer, right? So I was thinking, what things do I? Yeah, which things do I want to answer, or which things do I want to tell him, and also even more importantly, why don't I say them, right? Why don't I say them? Like why have I been? Because I received this DM yesterday and I received this yesterday night. This was because I was going to bed, right? So I don't know. I didn't. Not the time. It's not that I didn't have the time, but yeah, I didn't have the time to like properly process what I wanted to say to her. And to this, it's like I did have time to process this, right? So I was thinking, so what do I want to ask, and why do I feel like reluctant to ask? And yeah, maybe let's see why I feel reluctant, right? So resistance. Because the tone seems kind of final. Right? I think that in his tone in the reply, he kind of seems to imply that he has already answered my question, right? But the question was so open that I don't feel like I had it answered, right? So I don't want to seem like I'm prying and bothering him, but I do want to know more, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to handle those feelings. Then, yeah, I was thinking about this Twitter mutual, and I don't know. I don't think I have a lot of problems with this reply. I will just reply with my thoughts on the thing that we were talking about. I feel like because it's not resistance per se, right? It's not resistance. Not resistance, but kinda, I don't know. not lame, or how do you say lame? How do you say not lame? Low energy, something like this, right? It's that I don't feel like out of compulsion to answer, right? Because for this I want to answer, right? This is like I want to answer, but I feel resistance, right? But for this, it's like I don't feel the first impulse to, but I will. Like I don't want to reply, right? But I feel less eager to reply, right? But less eagerness to reply because it's a topic that I don't know. It's not present in my life anymore because it's a tweet from like I tweeted. It's because of a tweet that I tweeted a couple of days ago. But yeah, because it's because of a couple of days ago, right? I'm already bored about it, and it's something internal about me. So a topic that I'm no longer thinking about after this. Maybe not a couple. It's like more like 4 days, right? But if I get the message, I reply the next day. Then she replies the next day. Then right, it's like 4 days already for a couple of words. So and long intervals between answers. And yeah, then I was talking about why I feel happier. I don't know. It's not sure. Sorry. Well, not sorry. Yeah, not sure if I feel happier or if I feel something, but I feel like more energetic, more alive. Right? I feel like I've come alive in the Visa sense, in the way Visa talks about it. Kind of, I feel more of that when I have kind of this private messaging going on, right? When I'm talking to the void or making these videos or making these live streams, I don't feel a sense of connectedness to the world. I don't feel like this sense of social integration, right? No offense to the one viewer that's watching me right now, right? And actually, thank you for watching right now. But yeah, I don't know. I guess you can see why, right? I look at the chat and I don't see anything, right? So it is in the end just me talking to myself about my own thoughts and all these things, right? So it doesn't feel purposeful, right? It doesn't feel like it fills me or something. I don't know, not fills me, but it doesn't feel like it's advancing in life or something. I also don't feel like I'm this kind of because, for example, if you are a meditation guru or something like this, right? If you are some kind of meditation spiritual person or whatever, you can just talk to yourself or you can just talk about whatever the fuck you want, right? You can do all these things and feel not part of something, right? But feel like you are doing something productive or whatever for some reason, right? I don't know. Like meditation people, just because they go meditate to the forest and alone, like they feel like they are getting to some truth or something like this, right? I don't feel like that when I'm streaming, for example, when I'm making videos that I know are so niche that no one's going to watch. See? I don't know. That's so in turn I feel like less purposeful, less happy, you could say, less alive. I don't feel like I've come alive in that sense. I don't know. I also feel like I don't think making videos should have this. I don't know. Yeah, actually, fuck it. I do think that if you make videos, you make them because you want people to watch them, right? So the problem with that is that I am not getting to a place where people will watch my videos by doing them over and over again, right? It's like I'm not making them more watchable or anything like this, or making my channel more watchable, or honing my skills in a more watchable way, or anything like this. That's the problem. I feel stuck in that sense. like I only feel like all of what I've done will be useful in a way if I do something else, right? If I end up being successful on some other way, then then I will feel like all what I've done will make sense, right? Because I will have documented it. It will be documented, right? And that is interesting in a way, right? And revisiting those with the new context will make sense and will be an useful exercise, an interesting exercise, all of that. But if not, well, not that much. Do you all get it? What are your thoughts? And yeah, I don't know. I wrote when I feel integrated socially there because making videos about yourself for yourself does not feel socially integrated in a way, right? It feels like self-isolating. I don't know. It's like niching down when the niche equals 1. I don't know. It's not counterproductive or whatever, but yeah, it doesn't feel interesting. Yeah, it doesn't feel like exploring interesting things. I don't know, but I was thinking about this social integration. Okay. This social integration, like, also in the context of my own friends, right? Because the thing is that I started doing that and started just doing videos on my own on all these things, trying to see if I could find someone who valued that, because I didn't want to go the path, for example, my friends went. I don't know, maybe this is judgmental over my friends, right? But I have 2 friends who have jobs right now. Then another one who is doing strange things, another one who is also working. But these 2 friends work kind of for the state, you could say, right? And I don't know, it's not that I don't respect it, but it's like I've heard their reasoning and all of this, and it's not a reasoning that I relate to, for example, right? I'm not exactly sure what is it that drives them to that. For example, a friend of mine, one of them is a maths teacher, high school maths teacher. And he's like me, my age, 26, right? He's going to be 27 this year. And this is his first year teaching. So it's like he is integrated in society, right? There are students that depend on him. He's involved in this network so he is dependent, right? He's integrated socially in that sense. But I don't feel like he is, like I never felt he's doing something good about it, right? Not good about it, but I don't feel like he's, I don't really know if he's a good teacher, first of all. And I don't know if he wants to be, right? If he even wants to be a good teacher, right? I wouldn't care if he wasn't a good teacher right now, but he had kind of the will to become a good teacher, right? And if he talked about that, but he never talks about it in that context, right? When he talks about joking around, that he jokes around, for example, that maths are not useful, right? And yeah, I get it, right? And it's interesting to have a teacher that teaches maths that has this perspective of knowing that maths are not like useful per se. Like if you're a student and you relate to the feeling, it's probably useful to have these thoughts. But I'm hiding the viewers. I'm only putting chat up so I can see chat, but not see the number of viewers. Because if I see the number of viewers and I see it go to 0, I forget that I was I think, oh fuck, someone stopped watching. So yeah, I'm going to just put chat. I can see the messages, but I can't see the number of viewers. Yeah, so what I was saying, yeah, this friend, for example, this friend of mine, he works as a school teacher. But if you are a school teacher and you don't seem to ever communicate this will of wanting students to learn maths because you are a fucking maths teacher, right? I don't know. Like, the only reason you went into doing maths, I don't know, like, I don't understand why he went into maths, right? I don't know. So that's the part where I don't feel like that's well integrated socially, right? Or for example, my other friend, I understand this friend more, right? Because I know he's like, and I understand both friends because I guess like these jobs are both stable, right? They are, because they are for the state, they are stable. So if you are looking for stability, and they are very stable-minded people, I guess, right? They are people who want that, who really want that. Then I get it, right? It's like I get that part. I get why you would do it individually, right? And then I get how you become enmeshed in this social network, right? But yeah, for example, the friend that works for another corporation, it's like a TV corporation in Spain. That friend, he's like, yeah, he worked for, not for himself, but he's seen how working for your own company, right, is, because his dad has his own company and all this, and he's seen that and he doesn't like that, right? He's like, fuck that. That's like too messy, not worth it, right? So I want to go do something stable, right? I get that part. And he found that stable thing. He just wants to do it. He had certain conditions that made it easier, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, he sees it appropriate. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But it's like, I don't relate to it, right? For example. Because also they are the type of people who, I don't know, it's not like they complain about the state and all this, right? But for example, they do seem like if you work for the state, right, who is the president that in that moment kind of changes how the work is, right? In a sense. Not always, but in a sense. For example, in the TV corporations and all this, it does kind of change the tone of the channel, right? So if the president is socialist and you are not, it's like you are working for the socialist thing, right? So I get the jokes that come with that, but I don't know, like I wonder about the realness of it all, right? I'm going to check the viewers because I don't know. I feel like I'm talking to myself. I know. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that. That's what I think regarding my friend, right? So my friend's working this social integrated place, but kind of not, right? It's like if you work somewhere that you are not aligned with, right? If you work for the government and it's like, I get if you're a cop or something like this, right? It's like, going into it that you are not going to be defending just your party that you like, right? You are going to be defending in general, like democracy or whatever the fuck, right? So I get that cops are more like, in that sense, aligned with, in general, the state and the democracy or whatever, right? But if you're not, yeah. So it's like the state part, I don't think I have like that much of a gripe with, but because I don't think that they are, well, one of them is, but the other one, I don't know. at least as a joke. I don't know. But the other one, at least, yeah, is more moderate, you could say. I mean, I don't know, but the thing with this, like, I feel like I'm DMing people like out of curiosity, right? And I get responses and all of this. That is when I feel integrated socially in a way that I like, right? It's like I am getting answers that I like. I am being part of something that is cool, right? Which is, I don't know, I'm learning more about the world in cool ways, in ways that are, I don't know, in some sense kind of aligned with what has caught my interest, right? I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking about. It's not necessarily just the social part. And I don't know, I was thinking about this. First, I was thinking about two distinctions, right? Distinctions. I'm going to repeat myself, but I don't know, bear with me or whatever, right? Distinctions. Social versus introspecting, you could say, right? Introspecting. So, for me, right, social, it depends on the type of person who counts what social. But for example, to me, reading a book does kind of feel social, right? It is standing on the shoulders of giants. Reading books, it is standing on the shoulders of giants. Talking to people is also that in a way, right? DMing people and all this also, right? Watching videos to me is also that, but I don't know. I guess I would have a scale of what's going on, right? And for me, I don't know, it's weird to realize this, but I think that I am happier socially, right? I don't know. But also, I don't know, it's also like the source of the greatest unhappiness too, right? It's both. I don't know. I don't know. Another tangent, for example. I was thinking before something like, why haven't I gone into academia or something like this, right? And for example, I think that I could have studied letters, like letters. In Spanish, they call these letters, like letras. Something humanistic, humanities related, right? Because I like etymology and all these things, right? And that is, I guess, very fitting to some part of me, right? Which is basically being rewarded somehow, right? Being socially rewarded by staying in your house the fuck alone, reading and looking at things and all of these things, right? And it's like, why haven't I done that? And the conclusion I reached while working was that I fucking love money, right? It's like I liked money too much to do something so moneyless, right? So when I got into mechanical engineering, right, it's not that I was thinking about money, right? I liked cars, but money was always in the back of my mind, right? I was always like, yeah, mechanical engineering, there is money there, right? And when I went into tech, right, after mechanical engineering and tried to get into tech, I was like, there is money here, right? That's why I want to go in, right? And money is just it's a proxy for many things. But in the tech sense, it's also not just money, right? It's literally what's going on, right? It's literally what's shaping the world. It's what's going on, right? That's tech. It's like in the 1910s, it was the fucking car, right? The automobile. That was the fucking thing that was shaping the world. If you went into Detroit, it's like you went to Detroit to build cars because that was what's going on. And if you saw your house in 1930 and then maybe 1915 and then in 1930, you were like, fuck, people have built a road here, right? Or something like this, right? It was like the environment was changing all around you because of cars, right? People were like, the car lobby was fucking doing all these things, right? People were building suburbia. People were having cars, all of these things, right? In America, this is the context, but I don't know. Maybe it's extendable to other parts of the world as well. So it's like in that context, cars are like dumb. And now that thing is tech. But I don't know, it's like somewhere along the way, I figured how I like cars, like in what way I like cars. And I don't know, it's not in the I design the stamp design for the rear 3/4 of the Opel Corsa D, right? It's not that. That's not necessarily, like I don't have anything against the people who do it and the people who enjoy it and all this. And someone has to do it in a sense. But I don't know, it's like I wasn't allured enough for that to be the beginning of my days. I don't know, like it wasn't a path where I felt right to do it, right? Because I feel like there are people who are actually passionate about it, right? And who are actually like way more interested about that than me. I don't know what was I going on about, to be honest. Hello to the two people who are here. Still, not sure if you are the same or you are different, but hey. Feel free to say something in chat. Una soy yo, Wallace. That's my brother, by the way. ¿Qué haces? Escuchar. Relatable algunas cosas. Parte del dinero sobre todo. Architecture has more passional part than engineering, I think. Yeah, maybe more artistic too. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know. Like I got tired of working for 500 euros a month and doing something that I didn't find it useful or anything, right? So if it's not useful and it doesn't help me grow, I'm not going to be earning 500 euros a month. Right? Fuck that. I prefer 0 to that. But if you're passionate about it, like I can understand it. Right? I am cursed by knowledge. But also, it's the thing that will save me, that will keep me free. Knowledge. Right? Knowledge makes you unhappy but free. Like the Matrix. It's like if you are living in the Matrix, if you are in Spain and you are earning 2,000 euros per month and you feel like you are a king because you are so lucky, blah, 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 then you get out of the Matrix and you see that people are being paid 7 times what you are paid for somewhere else just because they were born somewhere else and because, yeah, right? It's like, then you are like, something is up. What about the other way around? What way? People that do the same job in a poorer country but earning 10 times less. I don't know, it is the same situation. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not like I'm going to work in Uganda, right? I'm not going to be working in Uganda. I mean, I try to find value in what I can do with what I have right now. No judgment here, by the way. Yeah, I'm not talking about architecture, by the way. I'm talking about software engineering, for example. It's like if you are a software engineer and you only know Spanish, right? You only speak Spanish. You don't have a good level of English. You are like, okay, like it's like you are in the Matrix, right? If you only speak Spanish and it's like you feel like a boss for earning 24,000 euros per year, then you are like awesome, right? You only know Spanish, you can only put that on your curriculum. But if you only knew how to talk in English, right, you would see that, wait, if I move to literally the next country over, right? Well, not because that's France, right? But in the UK, they are earning 50,000. And then if you are in the UK and people are earning like 50, 60,000 and talk to someone in the US, you will see that they literally laugh at you and call you poor because you are only earning 60,000 euros, right? Being like a decent, experienced engineer and all this, right? People will literally laugh at you because of that, right? They will literally say, what the fuck, right? It's like, that is the level there? Seriously? Architecture, I don't know how architecture is, right, for example. And I also engineering, and I can get engineering, right? In the engineering, it's different, right? Real engineering, like doing actual things. Like, for example, this thing. I was looking at these things. Well, not these things. These things. But for example, also these things, right? She's like a girl who likes helicopters, right? If you like helicopters and you have your family and your friends in Spain, it's like, no matter what the knowledge is, right? It's like, you just are going to have to fly helicopters in Spain, so you are going to do like what you are going to get paid, what people in Spain get paid for, right? It's like there is no other way. But if you're in software, it's like software literally doesn't exist, right? It's like, it doesn't matter. It's in the cloud. It's like you can program whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. Or wherever the fuck you want. It's like if you are working on this and you like this, you are going to be like, okay, I will take what I get paid for, right? I want to be by my family, blah, blah, blah. So I will use these machines, but close to my family. I don't know. But if you are the person who has the farm or something, right? So you feel shitty earning Spanish money for a remote job. Yes. If I don't know, and not just for Spain, because also I don't know, it's also because remote eliminates that possibility, I guess. And it also tells you like who you're competing with, right? Like who are you working with? If you are working to people who are getting paid 24,000 euros per year, it's like you don't even know. It's like you are not even in the same realm of the people who are actually working on important shit, right? It's like if there are people getting paid 10 times what you are getting paid for doing what you are doing right now, it's like what you are doing is I don't know, it's not valueless, right? Its value is for 24,000 euros per year, right? So it's like it's not having an actual impact in the big picture thing, right? It's like if you are working in Microsoft and getting paid 1 million euros per year, total compensation, because it always varies, right? You know, you are working in important projects, right? They are literally telling you by putting $1 million check, well, a $500,000 check and giving you $500,000 in Microsoft stocks. They are saying, okay, you are here and like you are working in these problems which are important to us, right? Which are the biggest company in the world. These are important problems for you to focus on. If you are getting 24,000 euros, it's like you are people are telling you, yeah, you are doing, I guess, like you are manipulating numbers for a Spanish company, right? Like, which in the big picture things, right? It maybe helps. I don't know. Like I don't even know what the company do, right? It's like it's always like these fucking consultant companies always, right? It's like el vídeo este de consultor. I don't believe that pay equals value that literally. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't mean literally like that, but in software especially, it does, right? In software, it kind of does. Because in software, it's like, yeah, if you are working in Google Spain, you are not earning €500,000 per year, right? Because that's not how it works. But you are earning maybe the top 0.1% of salaries in Europe, right? Because Google pays that well. Because they are fucking Google, right? They are working in the, like they are running fucking Google, right? Which is Google, right? The biggest company, the third biggest internet company in the world. So when they go into Spain, they do it the Google way, right? It's like they are not matching Spanish, USA Google numbers, but they are like rewarding handsomely or whatever the fuck, right? Yes, but an average tech company. An average tech company, what? Is not able to hire that kind of worker. Exactly. Because they do not pay that. Exactly. Right? If they are not able to hire that kind of worker, right? It's like if you are working at an average tech company, you are working averagely, right? It's like you are surrounded by the people who were not able to be hired by someone else, right? By the better ones. That's the problem, right? But those workers get some value anyway. I mean, yeah, they get the salary or whatever, and if they are happy with that, it's like, I guess if not everyone would get remote job. I mean, sometimes there is the language thing, and there are also that you want to live with your family or something like this, right? From the US or something, yeah. I mean, it's not because not everyone can, right? That's the problem. That not everyone can. Because there are also people graduating in the US, right? There are also people learning engineering in the US and all these things who are already closer. There are two sides of the frustration. So you want to remotely from another country or something? Yes. And not just another country, but specifically the United States. Well, I don't want to work. I want to do some things sometimes. I don't think about work. That's the thing. I don't think about work. I think about things that I want to do. Then I think, but won't working from an average company here benefit some way? Yes, that is true. And I don't want to do that either, right? Because I don't think about work. Like I don't think about it. I don't think about it that way. I don't know. Yeah, people have done it. I know a lot of people that do it. Well, not a lot, but I know some people. Like I've read some from people who do it, who are fuck it. I'm going to work for 6 months for $15,000 per year, for the €15,000 per year, because that is the state of things here, right? And then 6 months after, they are like, fuck this, like fuck you, I'm moving. Then with 6 months of experience, they are like, fuck it, I'm moving to a different company. And the company, because of those 6 months, already is not like 15. They are like, okay, 30, right? And you're like, okay, 30. Then 1 year later, you are like, fuck you. Because no one, like in the same company, no one is going to be like oh, you are staying with us. Okay, handshake, you get a 100% raise. No one is like that. But when they are hiring someone new, they will be like, okay, we pay market rate. What the hell? That's a lot of tabs. Yeah. I also have more windows here. XD. If you feel calmer like this, boom. More peace. Tree harvester. Lol. Yeah. It was for this. LinkedIn DM tree harvester engineer guy. That's what I did earlier. That's what I was thinking yesterday about tree harvesting. Yeah. Because of these videos. I was like, whoa, that is fucking cool. And I DM'd a guy who designs the heads of this, right? Or who works in engineering for these heads to see if he talks to me about this. And I don't know, I get it, right? I get it. If you work for something like this, right? It's like you were born in a town, you look at the info jobs of your country, and you're like, fuck it, I graduated mechanical engineering. I look at info jobs, they say mechanical engineering, you click, and you're like, then the guy who hires you works on this. Like the company does this, and you're like, I've never seen a fucking tree in my life, but fuck it, I know how to do equations, I will join, right? Or maybe like that can happen, right? But also you grow in a farm of trees and you are seeing your parents every day being like, we have to cut these trees by hand, and then one day your dad buys this machine and you're like, what the fuck, this is the greatest machine ever, and you become obsessed, right? I don't know, both things can exist, right? So one person is going to be way happier working for this company making the best things like this than the other person, right? So it's like, I'm the kind of person who, when I saw people getting jobs that pay 2,000 euros per month, was like, what the fuck, that is actually very little, right? Because my dad, who is also your dad, earns like twice or twice that, right? So it's like, I know that there is something else possible, right? I've literally seen it with my own eyes. So I'm like, I don't know. But he's 50. 60. Yeah. But I believe 2024 XD. But when did he start? 45 or something like this, right? In the new contract. And before that, shitty autonomo. But why was it? Because of a random friend. Right? Yeah, I mean, I believe a trade harvester guy, if he knows his passion, can learn about interesting stuff about doing his job. Yes. Not that he will receive an equal amount of money for his job from the beginning, because capitalism and stuff. Yeah, that's the problem with jobs or whatever. They are rigid like that. Yeah, I believe that. I also believe it, right? I don't believe that he is wrong, right? I believe that he is right. But I am sadly not that person, right? If I were that person, I would have been that person already, right? Like if I cared about other things, right? I know I have friends that care about other things. For example, the people I was talking about, my friends before, I was talking about them. Like they don't give a shit about that, right? They don't care about money in that sense. They care about other things. They care about stability. They care about these kind of things, right? And it's like I care about all of the things, right? I care about everything. I care about having fun, about it being interesting, and it being bringing me a lot of money, right? The useful to society or whatever are probably like it's probably correlated to all of those things, right? And yeah, I am willing to sacrifice other things. Like I am willing to sacrifice money if it is very fun and very interesting. Which is why I am earning zero money. I don't know, in the studio I was not happy with the money. Sometimes even not with the job. But it made me happy to do things right. I don't know. Yeah, I believe it. Like what I was making, the best I could. Making what I was making, the best I could. And felt I was learning stuff. I don't know. I believe it. But when I was doing it, I didn't feel that. I felt like what I was doing was useless. That I was being paid too little, even though it was useless, right? Even for shit that useless, I should have be being paid more. But I was not learning anything useful, right? That's what I felt. I saw people making money that I think was no better than me. XD. Yeah, that's also true, right? I mean, yeah, that happens even in software as well, right? Even in software, there are people in Google or whatever who are good enough for Google, but there are people outside of Google who are like better. But because they don't know English, or because they didn't care about Google, right? Or because they think Google is evil. Right? Some people think Google is evil, right? They are like, no, I'm not going to help them. There are a lot of people who are against it and who are better. Right? Or who are like, Google is slow. We can do it faster. And then you make trade-offs. Seeing that is motivating in a way. I don't know. To me, it's kind of depressing. But why? I don't know, if you are bad and you are making more money than me, it's like, pfft, this is unfair, right? Or like this set of skills, or like being the set of skills of being good is not used, it's not correlated with that. I don't know. I'm not sure who do you mean. So it depends on who do you mean. Like if they can, I can too. Like it. Yeah, but I can say that. Empowering. See a developer that I don't think is that smart, and I'm like, maybe I can someday do that too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when things like that happen, I'm usually like, what is the hidden thing happening here, right? Maybe his brother has like a construction company. Right? Maybe it's like super easy to have to be dumb and have and be a developer if your brother constructs the buildings really well or something like this. I don't know. Or if you are funny, or if te vas de putas con el cliente o lo que sea. No. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Also, sometimes it's like being a developer itself, right? Is kind of the hard thing, you could say, right? It's like you have to be kind of dumb to be like, okay, I'm going to risk so much money to do this, right? Once people have that a lot of money, right, they don't risk it in these kind of things, or I don't know. I never know. But I like to think that people in general value quality. Yeah, I think that's good. And yeah, that is an end of itself, right? That is an end of itself. Like if you are making good houses and you earn very little, or not very little, right? But you earn less than you think you could earn, maybe that is the way, right? Maybe you have to learn slowly to make good things and then make the good things. And that can be like very expensive or something. I don't know what I was even talking about. I have videos about it. I don't know. I also don't. Next guest in the podcast. XD. Who? You, if you want. But I didn't meet you online. That's the problem. I met you in real life first, so. But I don't know. I can talk to you online if you want. I don't know. I don't have any answers. I'm just thinking. And some people are like, some jobs are just thinking. Right? Some people value thinking. Some don't, but académico, like you said before, I guess. Well, yeah, I guess. I was thinking like value with money, but yeah. I was thinking more like consultant or like think tank thing, right? Or like YouTuber, right? What do YouTubers who talk to the camera or like podcasters do? Just talk, right? Or people who write blogs. That's the thing. I feel like any average job can be better with thinking. Yeah. That too. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, right? And I don't disagree that those people who have average jobs shouldn't think, right? If they do it and they are happy with that, then good. The thing is that I don't want, like, average jobs ensure average outcomes. I want to do things that don't ensure average outcomes, right? I was reading this thing about luck the other day. Let's see if I find the tab because I have too many tabs open. I think that what I don't get is why do you see that like excluyente? I pretty much agree with you with everything else. In what excluyente? It's like, no, I'm not against jobs or whatever, right? But I am against many jobs. Like people have jobs and it's good that the people have jobs or whatever. Average job with the possibility of growth. No, because the thing about jobs is that they cap you, right? It's like they say you are going to earn this much money, right? And your coworkers are all people who are doing like kind of the same thing and all of these things, right? So if you want to do the job, it's like if you have a job and you can do something else, then that's cool, right? I don't know. I respect that. But you have to do something else. And I want to do the thing that is all, right? I want to do everything. You can do other stuff outside the job. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I don't disagree with the people who want to do that, right? But I believe that I am special and that I can find the thing that is all encompassing or whatever, right? And it doesn't, like, I say it like that, but I don't really, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean all encompassing or whatever. Never have I seen this many tabs at once. Everyone comments on the tabs thing. What are you reading? It's called A Skill Called Luck. It's just an essay by this guy called Jacob Greenfeld. This. It's like jobs ensure that the atmosphere, right? It's like that the atmosphere is going to be you surrounded by people who just care about narrow things usually. Right? That is kind of what the thing does by itself, right? So you have to do the things outside, and you have to find the things outside. So I'm like, why don't I find something where I can find the things inside, right? But if people are going outside and doing those things, right? Why don't I just do the outside thing? Right? That's the thing. That's what I say. That's my point, right? When can I start doing the outside thing, right? If it's in more than 1 year, then I'm going to be like, okay, I won't live in my parents' house, so I will have to get a job, right? So I will be like, fuck it. But if it's before 1 year, then good. That's good. I don't know. That's everything for today. I'm going to close the stream. Already get it. Sounds like an interesting concept. I don't know. Yeah, you should read the thing. That's cool. I mean, JN, if you think this is interesting, it is. I don't know. It is pretty interesting. Bye. Thank you for being here. And I'm closing the stream. Bye. I'll take a look and get back to you next stream. Okay. It's probably going to be tomorrow at more or less the same time. You too. Where are you from, by the way? JN. If it's good night, it's probably India or something. I'm from Sweden. Okay, then it's not night, but it's night because of it's dark outside already, right? It's dark all year round. No, not in summer. Okay, yeah, pretty dark. Pretty cold too. Göteborg.